Hey, you want to see something dumb? Watch this. So, this is my taco restaurant. It is a solo restaurant that I started up a long time ago, and it's pretty much as good as it's going to get. Um, I'm not even worried about any of that stuff. So, how I typically play this is I will go way up here at the top, drop down, and then go. And I'm just going to sit here and ring the phone over and over. And this video will last about 10 to 12 minutes. I recorded this once before, and I didn't really talk that much, so this time around I'm just going to kind of talk about how this restaurant works. As you can see, it's split up into a dining area and a kitchen, dining area on the left obviously, and the kitchen is fully automated. Every single taco tray that gets sent out is on its own kind of separate line, and I have 5 different lines activated. And they're all kind of similar looking. I did that for aesthetical purposes because I am a very aesthetical kind of guy. Not to be confused with the Jellicle, Cats reference. Anyway, so if you look into my restaurant, you'll see that I have 15 bar tables and then 12 coffee tables, making for a total of 27. Each of the 15 bar tables is adjacent, orthogonally adjacent to one of the teleporters that my tacos go out to. I tried a system where they were diagonally adjacent and it did not work. So the only thing that does work is if it is orthogonally. So either up, down, left, right. You can't go diagonal. That's the only way they'll actually take the tacos off of the taco tray. So that's something I had to consider. And I had to try to finagle my tables to fit into the room that I had. And I think I did a really good job with that, generally speaking. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm neglected to say that I currently had a morning rush, which I was really concerned about. I thought about not holding down square for a second, but I decided against that. So also trying to situate all of as many coffee tables as I could was kind of a situation as well. Again, I tried to make it in a very aesthetic looking manner. You have an entire row or column, I guess, of coffee tables going up the middle of the dining room there, if you look kind of towards the right side. And then they're kind of dotted all over the place in other areas where I could fit them, especially right there at the entryway. On the left side, I have 3 extra coffee tables just sitting there, doing their best. But yeah, how this restaurant really kind of works is, I'm sure you've noticed, these coffee tables, these tacos, excuse me, are plain. They're just plain meat tacos. If you're going for full automation, you want to go with the simplest restaurant possible. In a 4-player game, going simple restaurants can be kind of boring, because ultimately you are working towards efficiency rather than communication. And in a 4-player game, you kind of want to talk to your friends. You kind of want to work together and, conquer the hardest problems possible. Or at least that's how I feel. But no, in a single-player game, generally speaking, you want to go simple as heck. And one of my favorite dishes to do simply is hamburgers. I love doing a simple restaurant with hamburgers because if you can get fresh burger patties as one of your cards at the end of the day, that does not complicate the recipe. It just adds a couple of steps actually to creating burgers. But you still serve the same burger over and over. And if you can automate these fresh patty ingredients, the way you actually make the fresh patties, you get to have this restaurant that still serves hamburgers, but with a smaller group size, and you should be able to theoretically make it a little bit further. Now, the problem with running a simple restaurant is that every time you get a new card at the end of the day, you always have to go with the card that modifies your customers. So I got literally every single bad card you can imagine. I think I got increased customer sizes. As you can see at the top bar, I have Morning Rush, I have Dinner Rush. I have it to where customers get slowed by messes, which for a restaurant with this magnitude could be disastrous. So that's why you see all of my buffers in the left room and my mops in the right room, trying to negate that mess as much as possible. And of course, they are sitting at bar tables. And I do believe this is an affordable restaurant. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'm fairly certain it is. So that means that they are eating really, really quickly and leaving just as fast. Bar tables increase the speed that they order and eat. Affordable increases the speed that they order and eat. So all of that's really great. Additionally, I have Victorian standards, which means that if they ever see me, they lose patience much more quickly. That's not too big of an issue, obviously, because they're eating and getting out quicker than they can even think. But we're starting to near the end of the day here. If you rewatch this video for any reason whatsoever, you might start noticing potentially, yeah, I just saw one actually, some of the chairs scoot back and tacos are eaten at that table, even though there's not actually a customer sitting there. Sometimes, I guess, since I have, what, over 1,000 guests in a 10-minute period, that it has trouble loading in some of the models for the for the customers. Okay, so we're done ringing the phones. I don't have to talk over the incessant ringing, although I still kind of do because they're still eating. But yeah, this is, and starting I think the hardest part with starting a restaurant like this is early on, because no matter what, you're going to get, you're going to get screwed by how the customers react. You want simple things like decreased profit or hidden wait time, stuff like that. You want things that are really, really easy. One thing that would absolutely kill this run is if customers could order twice. I actually have not gotten that card, and now that I've put it out into the ether, I'm fairly certain that I'm going to get that card at the end of the day. You're probably thinking, Nathan, you're not ringing phones anymore. Why are you still having customers come in? Yeah, that's because I have another card that says customers can come in after closing, and that's currently what you're seeing right now. And this actually lasts almost just as long as the regular day period. But, you know, what can you do? But yeah, early on, you just have to deal with how customers are behaving. And if you get, like I said, cards that are customers order twice, and honestly, that's one of the worst ones, especially for an automated restaurant, you kind of have to abandon that restaurant. You kind of have to just, you know, send it. Now, if I do get that card at the end of this day, because it is overtime day 30, I might play with it. I might see if my restaurant is efficient enough to where I can make that happen. Because I do have a ton of tables. Customers are ordering and eating unreasonably fast. So double ordering might be okay. Instead of sitting at a table for 0.8 seconds, they might sit at a table for 1.7 or something like that. Effectively doubling the time they're sitting at the table, but it's, you know, looking at that bar at the bottom whenever we have customers sitting outside waiting, it's not bad. It takes about 10 seconds or so for it to, you know, get down to the bottom, I think. But yeah, I also have some of the worst cards imaginable, like Sedate Atmosphere. I think customers make increased messes when they eat. Again, reduced by my buffers, my floor mops, and the general speed at which these customers are eating. They don't really have a whole lot of time to make mess. But yeah, this is a automated taco restaurant. I guess at the end of the day, you kind of have to ask yourself, would you come to this restaurant? And I think the answer is absolutely not. I would never go to a restaurant that had a tiny walkway along the left that everyone had to go through, and there were actually chairs that pulled out into that walkway. No, I would never come here. Um, I'm sure the tacos are phenomenal. And the idea of pulling a taco off of a teleporting device sounds really interesting, but it is not worth it. I'll just watch a video on YouTube or something for that. But yeah, I'm sure you've seen everything this restaurant has to offer. I've kind of tried to give my thoughts about how this restaurant has played out for me over the past 10 minutes now. If you thought any part was really cool, kind of popped out in your mind, just leave a comment or just tell me about it. That's fine. Whatever you like. Um, oh, oh, we're done. Oh wait, no, we're not. He needs to eat. Where was he? Okay. All right, get on up out of here. Let's see how much money we made. All right, 15,507 coins. Great. The next day we're going to have 130. Or I'm sorry, 1,300. Yeah, it's fine. All right, so here. Oh, this is great. This is great. So again, I got lucky. Pumpkin soup, absolutely no. Tipping culture, 100%. You always go to the right side. And it's decoration day. Yeah. So yeah, this is my taco restaurant. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.